Have you ever felt that you're not the same as before? Your confidence has decreased. You've started blaming yourself for everything, or you can't trust your own decisions. If this is happening, it's possible that you're being psychologically manipulated. Manipulation doesn't always happen openly. It happens gradually, silently, and at an emotional level. Today we'll learn about 12 signs that indicate someone is playing with your mind and emotions. Listen carefully. Sign 1. They take advantage of your insecurities. A manipulator never wants you to become truly strong. They benefit not from your strength, but from your weakness. Therefore, they don't attack directly. They first win your trust. They become a good listener. They make you feel that they understand you, are with you, care about you. Gradually, you start opening up. You share your fears, childhood stories, failures, relationship wounds, your physical or emotional insecurities. You feel like you found someone close. But this is where the game begins. The manipulator collects information. Every weakness, every sensitive matter becomes a tool for them. They don't use it immediately. They wait for the right time. Then one day, in the name of a joke, they bring up that very thing. Oh, you're scared to speak in front of people anyway. Or you always overreact. Remember what happened last time? At first, this seems light. You laugh it off. But gradually, those same comments become taunts. Then accusations. And sometimes they turn into direct insults. The most dangerous thing. They do all this in such a way that you feel the mistake is yours. You start feeling that maybe you really are weak. Maybe you're not as capable as you thought. Your confidence gradually starts breaking. And when a person starts doubting themselves, controlling them becomes easy. If a person doesn't respect your private matters, doesn't keep your weaknesses safe, instead uses them in arguments or jokes, then this is not love or friendship. This is control. Remember, the person who truly cares about you will protect your weaknesses, not use them. Sign 2. They turn everything into an emergency. Decide now. There's no time to think. If you don't do it now, the opportunity will be gone. These sentences may sound normal, but when someone repeatedly turns every small and big thing into an emergency, it's not coincidence. It's a strategy. The manipulator knows. A calm mind is the biggest threat, because when you have time, you think, ask questions, compare, and maybe understand the hidden trick in their words. Therefore, they don't want to give you a chance to think. They deliberately create a stressful atmosphere. Urgency in voice, fear in words, pressure of last chance in statements. You made to feel that if you don't decide now, everything will end. The relationship will break. The opportunity will be lost. Damage will occur. Under pressure, a person often makes wrong decisions. Because at that time, fear works, not the mind. And this is what they want. Notice, when they're making decisions, do they hurry? Often not. They think, plan, take time. But when it comes to you, suddenly everything becomes urgent. This inequality is a sign. In healthy relationships, there's dialogue, not threats. Time is given, not snatched. If a person doesn't respect your boundaries and constantly pushes you into haste, it's necessary to see if they're more concerned about their benefit than your welfare. Remember, the decision that affects your life, you have the right to think about it. The person who deprives you of this right is not your guide. They're your controller. Sign 3. They gaslight you. Gaslighting means making you doubt your own truth. This is one of the most dangerous mental traps, because in this, the other person doesn't hurt you directly. They gradually weaken your thinking, your memory, and your understanding. Suppose you clearly saw that they said or did something wrong. When you bring it up, the answer is, you're remembering it wrong. I never said that. You exaggerate everything. You always have to create drama. Initially, you're fully confident that you're right. But when these same things are repeated again and again, doubt starts forming inside you. You start thinking, Maybe I really did understand it wrong. Maybe I'm too sensitive. Maybe the problem is within me. This is the real effect of gaslighting. It distances you from yourself. You stop trusting your feelings. In every argument, you assume you're wrong just to maintain peace. Gradually, the situation becomes such that before making any decision, you want that person's approval because now you don't trust yourself. And when a person loses trust in their understanding, controlling them becomes very easy. In a healthy relationship, if there's a misunderstanding, it's resolved through conversation. Your feelings are not denied there. If a person is constantly trying to prove your truth as lies, this is not a normal dispute. This is mental control. Remember, your memories, your feelings, and your experience matter. If someone repeatedly makes you feel that your reality is wrong, the problem is not yours. It's theirs. Sign 4. They suppress you with data. During an argument, suddenly lots of facts, data, and statistics will be placed before you. So quickly, with so much confidence that you won't understand what to answer. At first glance, it'll seem the other person is very educated, knows a lot. But having more information isn't always wisdom. Many times, it's just a strategy. The purpose is not to explain to you. The purpose is to confuse you. They'll make the matter so complex that the real issue gets lost. You want to discuss one straightforward thing, but they drown it in a shower of data. Suddenly, the conversation shifts from emotion to graphs, percentages, and examples. You feel you've been left behind. This method is especially used when they know they're weak on moral or emotional grounds. Therefore, they divert the conversation in a direction where you're uncomfortable. Gradually, you start feeling that maybe you're not that knowledgeable. Maybe you're less intelligent. And from here, you become silent. Winning the argument is not their goal. Breaking your confidence is their goal. Notice, do they ever listen to you carefully? Do they try to explain in simple words, or just build a wall of information? In healthy dialogue, there's clarity, not competition. The purpose is solution, not showing superiority. If a person turns every discussion into a platform to show intellectual power, this is not dialogue, it's control. Remember, wisdom doesn't mean speaking in complex terms. It means speaking clearly and respectfully. Sign 5. They show passive-aggressive behavior. They won't fight directly. They won't openly say what problem they have. But suddenly their behavior will change. They'll become silent, won't reply to messages, won't pick up the phone, will ignore you as if you don't exist. This is not normal distance. This is silent treatment. And this is a kind of punishment. You keep thinking, what did I do wrong? You try to start conversation again and again. You apologize, even though you don't know what the mistake is. This is their purpose. In passive-aggressive behavior, the person doesn't show anger directly. They make you uncomfortable by creating emotional distance. They keep you in uncertainty, and uncertainty makes a person restless. Gradually, you start obeying them just to maintain peace. You suppress your needs to avoid confrontation, because you know if you oppose, you'll get that same silence, same ignorance, same distance. This relationship doesn't remain equal. It becomes a game of control. In a healthy relationship, if there's anger, it's discussed openly. Silence is not used as a weapon. If a person repeatedly creates distance to punish you, this is not maturity. This is emotional pressure. Remember, dialogue strengthens relationships, and deliberate silence is a way to control relationships. Sign 6. They constantly criticize, finding fault in every small thing, comparing you with others. You never do anything right. Nothing happens from you. Look how much better other people are. Initially, this may seem like normal feedback to you. You'll think maybe the other person wants to make you better. But gradually, you'll realize this is not improvement. It's attack. Healthy criticism is specific. It's about one behavior, and it includes a solution. Like, if you do it this way, it'll be better. There's respect in it. But constant criticism is different. In it, the person doesn't talk about one mistake of yours. They question your entire identity. They make you feel that you're fundamentally weak, incompetent, or a failure. Gradually, you start seeing yourself through their eyes. Before doing anything, you start fearing that maybe you'll make a mistake again. You start considering even your achievements as small. The most dangerous thing, when someone repeatedly tells you that you're not enough, after some time, you start believing it. And when self-respect breaks, a person becomes dependent. They feel they can't do anything alone. They feel they need that very person who's criticizing them. This is the manipulator's goal. They weaken you so much that you start seeking validation from the very person who broke you. You start craving even their small praise. And when they sometimes appreciate you, you feel like you've achieved something very big. This is the cycle of emotional control. Notice, does the criticism always bring down your confidence? Are you made to feel small instead of improved? Is comparison used to shame you instead of motivate you? If yes, this is not healthy dialogue. This is an attack on your self-respect. Remember, the person who truly cares about you will lift you up, not bring you down. Sign 7. They always let you speak first. At first glance, this seems very respectful. You speak first. I want to hear you. You feel the other person is mature, sensitive, and values your feelings. But it's not always like this. Sometimes this is a strategy. They want you to lay out your thoughts, your feelings, your concerns first. You speak honestly. You tell what hurt you, what scared you, what makes you feel insecure. And they keep listening silently. At that time, they may show sympathy, may nod their head, may stay calm. You'll feel their understanding. But actually, they're collecting information. Later, during some argument or confrontation, those same things are used against you. You said you have a fear of being abandoned. Now see, you always overthink because you have abandonment issues. You told me you feel a lack of confidence. That's your problem. You don't trust yourself. Instead of understanding your truth, they turn it into a weapon. Gradually, you stop opening up. You start speaking carefully. You fear that everything you say might someday be used against you. This is not healthy dialogue. In healthy relationships, both people speak openly. Both take their responsibility. Their listening is for understanding, not for winning. If a person always lets you speak first but isn't clear themselves, if they twist your words later and use them against you, this is not sensitivity, it's control. Remember, trust is built where your words remain safe, where your words become bridges, not weapons. If your words are repeatedly being used against you, the problem is not your honesty, it's their intention. Sign 8. They use anger and fear. When you don't obey them, suddenly the atmosphere changes. Voice becomes loud. Tone becomes harsh. Facial expressions become stern. Sometimes banging on the table. Sometimes staring into eyes. Sometimes such pressure in words that you shrink inside. This is not just anger. This is a method. The manipulator knows that fear immediately bends a person. Where logic doesn't work, fear works. When they feel you're standing firm on your point, they make the emotional atmosphere so heavy that you start feeling unsafe. You feel continuing the argument is dangerous. So you become silent. Gradually, your mind learns a pattern. If I oppose, there'll be anger. If I ask questions, there'll be a fight. And you stop asking questions. This behavior is not just a moment's anger. If this happens repeatedly, it's a method of control. Anger is used as a weapon. Sometimes they'll calmly say later, I was just angry. But if every disagreement turns into anger, this is not coincidence. This is a pattern. In healthy relationships, there can be disagreement. Conversation can happen without raising voices. There's no atmosphere of fear. There's no insecurity. If a person deliberately scares you with their voice, words, or body language, this is not strength. This is emotional pressure. Remember, where you're afraid to speak your mind, there's no respect. And where there's no respect, there's no balance either. Sign 9. They break promises. Initially, they make promises very easily. I'll handle it. Don't worry. I'm always with you. But when the time comes to fulfill them, they back away. The work they were supposed to do remains incomplete. The responsibility they took suddenly becomes yours. And when you question, the answer is, you didn't remind me properly. It got messed up because of you. You always put pressure on me. Meaning, the mistake is theirs, but the blame is yours. This is not just irresponsibility. This is a pattern. Breaking promises keeps you unstable. You can never be fully assured. You have to handle things yourself every time. Gradually, you start playing a double role, yours and theirs. And when you get tired, they may say, you make a big deal out of everything. Sometimes after breaking a promise, they'll negotiate something else. Okay, I couldn't do it this time, but you do this. Or, if you had supported me, I would have fulfilled it too. This becomes an emotional transaction, where trust doesn't run, but give and take runs. The most dangerous effect. You reduce expectations. You start thinking that maybe having high expectations is wrong. You lower your standards, so disappointment decreases. But in healthy relationships, a promise is not a light word. If it's ever not possible to fulfill, responsibility is taken, excuses are not made. If a person repeatedly breaks promises and blames you every time, this is not a mistake. This is a control strategy. Remember, trust is not built from words, but from consistently fulfilled actions. Where promises repeatedly break, trust also gradually breaks. Sign 10. They don't give you time to think. They'll make every decision themselves, thoughtfully. Will plan for hours, days, sometimes weeks. Will consider every possibility. But when your turn comes, suddenly everything will change to urgency. Tell me now, what's there to think so much? If you trust me, say yes immediately. This contradiction is not coincidence. It's part of control. The manipulator knows that time to think gives power. When you're calm, logic works instead of emotions. You see pros and cons. You can take advice from a trusted person, and maybe you'll understand their hidden intention. Therefore, they push you into haste. A decision made under pressure is often not clear. It's made from fear, guilt, or the fear of losing a relationship. And later, when the result appears, you stand alone. Have you ever noticed? If you say, I need a little time, they become uncomfortable. They present it as distrust or distance, as if the desire to think is itself a crime. But the truth is, the person who wants your welfare will give you time. They won't fear your questions. They'll respect your decision-making process. The person who forces you to make immediate decisions is thinking more about their benefit than yours. Remember, every big decision deserves thought. If someone deprives you of this right, they're not guiding you. They're controlling you. You have the right to ask for time. And a relationship that doesn't accept this right is not balanced. Sign 11. They twist and present the truth. Half truth, half lie. This is their most powerful weapon. They don't tell complete lies because complete lies can be caught. They take a small part of truth, twist it according to themselves, and complete the rest of the story themselves. Then present it with so much confidence that you feel maybe they're right. Suppose in some argument they hurt you. When you raise the issue, they'll say, yes, I said that, but you didn't understand the context. Or, I was just joking. You made a big deal out of it. See what happened? The incident is the same, but responsibility has disappeared. The mistake has been placed on your understanding. Gradually, they start molding every situation in their favor. Give new meanings to old things. Present the promise they made in a different way. Call what they said a misunderstanding. You start thinking, did I really understand wrong? Is my memory weak? Do I exaggerate things? This is the point where their control starts deepening. When a person loses trust in their memories and experiences, they start depending on others' interpretations. And the manipulator wants exactly this. You give up your truth and consider their story as truth. Sometimes they change the story in front of others too. So you feel isolated, so it seems everyone believes them and you're the only one who's wrong. This is not just a misunderstanding. This is a repeatedly occurring pattern. In healthy relationships, if there's a mistake, it's accepted. Truth is not presented twisted. There's transparency, not defense. If a person constantly changes events for their benefit and always makes you feel confused, stop and think. The problem is not your memory. Remember, your experience is real. Your feelings are real. And the person who repeatedly twists truth is not playing the game of truth, but of control. Sign 12. They insist on meeting face to face. Meeting is not always wrong. But when a person insists on meeting face to face only for every serious conversation, it's worth thinking about. The manipulator is an expert in body language. They know that gestures have more effect than words. Constantly looking into eyes, talking very close, making voice slow or heavy, sometimes suddenly becoming emotional. All these are not just natural reactions. Many times, these are techniques to create influence. While talking on phone or message, you get a little time to think. You can read words. Listen again. You feel safe in distance. But face to face, the atmosphere is different. They can immediately read your reactions, your hesitation, your fear, your emotional weakness, and can change their strategy accordingly. Sometimes they'll become very soft. Sometimes suddenly harsh. Sometimes will hug you and make you emotional. Sometimes will create pressure by staying silent. In a personal meeting, emotional effect is deeper, and the manipulator takes advantage of this very depth. If you say, I need time to think about this, they may say, no, let's meet now and clear things up, because they know distance gives you clarity. Notice, after every meeting, do you feel confused? Do you change your own decisions? Do you feel you wanted to say no, but couldn't? Then it's possible that pressure is working there, not dialogue. In healthy relationships, meetings are to increase understanding, not for control. Your comfort is important there. Remember, you have the right to decide how and when conversation happens. If a person repeatedly ignores this right, they're not having dialogue. They're trying to establish influence. Conclusion. So friends, these are the 12 signs that indicate someone may be psychologically manipulating you. The important thing, manipulation doesn't always come loudly. It comes gradually. Initially, everything seems normal. You feel maybe you're overthinking. But if you're repeatedly being made to feel guilty, your boundaries are not being respected, and your confidence is decreasing, it's necessary to stop and think. Remember, healthy relationships make you strong, not weak. There's dialogue, not fear. There's respect, not control. If you're seeing many of the signs mentioned in this video in your life, don't ignore it. Talk honestly with yourself. If needed, take advice from a trusted person or professional. The signs again. 1. They take advantage of your insecurities. 2. They turn everything into an emergency. 3. They gaslight you. 4. They suppress you with data. 5. They show passive-aggressive behavior. 6. They constantly criticize. 7. They always let you speak first to collect information. 8. They use anger and fear. 9. They break promises. 10. They don't give you time to think. 11. They twist and present the truth. 12. They insist on meeting face to face. What to do if you recognize these patterns? First, trust your instincts. Your feelings are valid. Second, Document what happens. Write down incidents, conversations, promises made and broken. Third, talk to someone you trust, a friend, family member, or a therapist. Fourth, set clear boundaries. Practice saying, I need time to think, or I'm not comfortable with this. Fifth, remember, you deserve respect, clarity, and emotional safety. Final truth. Recognizing manipulation is the first step to freedom. Understanding these patterns gives you power. You can choose to protect yourself, set boundaries, and build healthier relationships. The person who truly cares about you will respect your boundaries, give you time to think, accept responsibility for their actions, support your growth, not control it, make you feel safe, not afraid. You deserve relationships that uplift you, not break you down. If this video was helpful, please like and share it so more people can become aware. Let us know in the comments if you've experienced any of these signs. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content about truth and awareness. Stay aware, stay strong, trust yourself,